If you're like me, for the most of your life have been told what to do, how to behave, what to want, and now you're in this moment of your life when you can actually go ahead and do whatever you want. So, in front of you, there's a world of endless possibilities, but instead of feeling excited, you feel lost, overwhelmed, and stressed. You want life full of meaning, but it's hard to hear what you truly want because everyone around you is literally telling you what you should do and what you should want. If you're ready to break free from the confusion and uncover the true desires of your heart, listen closely. Today, I'm sharing 4-step guide to help you uncover those hidden passions and desires of your heart. Step number 1. Find your quiet corner as sanctuary of self-discovery. Before we dive into the exciting world of dreams and aspirations, we need to create a safe, sacred space within. A quiet corner where you can connect with your inner self, where you will be able to hear the quiet whispers of your heart. Think of this step as building a sanctuary, a place where you can escape the demands of the external world, when you can turn your attention inward. It's about creating a haven of peace and tranquility where you can truly connect with your desires and you can emerge with the depths of your being. So, how do we, you're gonna ask me, okay, Magda, so how do I create this sanctuary within? Well, first of all, let's embrace the power of solitude. Carve out some dedicated me time where you can disconnect from the outside world and simply be present just with yourself. Turn off your phone, or if you need to use a notepad on your phone, switch it into the flight mode. If meditation is not your thing, simply try some deep breathing exercises, something that will bring your attention to the moment that you're in and will help you clear your mind from any external distractions, from life as it is, so to speak. The other solutions, it's for some people, the best way to find inner peace is to immerse with the nature. So maybe instead of staying indoors, a best solution for you would be to go outdoors, to go for a walk, to the forest, to the park, to the beach. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever surroundings make you feel at peace, go ahead and do it. Sometimes the nature has that soothing effect on our soul and helps us reconnect with our inner wisdom easier. The key here is to find what works best for you. Experiment with different techniques and create a ritual that will help you connect with your inner self and cultivate that sense of calmness and clarity. There's no one size fits all when it comes to this. The above mentioned steps are my suggestions: to be still, to relax, to let go of the external world. And one more thing, you might also, during every step of this process, to have a pen and paper, because as some thoughts keep on flowing to your head, sometimes it's good to capture them, to write them down on your notepad, on a piece of paper, maybe record them on the dictation device. This quiet corner, this inner sanctuary, is where you'll begin to connect with your deepest desires, is where you're going to start connecting with yourself, and you're going to start training yourself to be open and to start hearing what your heart and your soul is going to be telling you. Step number 2 is to unleash your inner dreamer. It's a brainstorming bonanza. So, all right, my friend, it's time to tap into that incredible mind of yours and unleash the river of your desires. No limitations whatsoever. Just grab a pen and paper or open up a voice recorder on your phone or a notebook on your iPad or on your phone. Now set the timer for 15 to 20 minutes. And in this dedicated me time, dive deep into the realm of possibilities. Write down everything that you think you want. And here's the key: don't overthink it. Let your thoughts flow freely, like a wind, like a waterfall, just unfiltered dreams and aspirations. There's no judgment, no limitations, just pure desires. Like everything that comes to your mind. We are not even allowed here to judge what is possible, what is not possible, what is stupid, what is silly. No, there's no such thing. Here, that's why we're putting the timer in. Let's think of it as the more you write down, the more positions you're going to have on your piece of paper, the better the reward. If you want to, you can even create a reward for yourself. Let's say that for 20 answers, you're gonna, what is a treat for yourself? I don't know. An ice cream, a nice meal, a movie, a perfume, like whatever is that reward. Make the most of those 20 minutes and write down everything that comes to your mind. Even when it seems silly, unrealistic. Want to be an astronaut? Sure, write it down. Dream of opening a cafe in Bali? Sure, who cares? Everything is possible on this level. Sometimes it's helpful to tire yourself, to go out for a run or exercise some cardio in gym. And then when you're tired, just write it down. Maybe that's a solution when you have that inner critic that is like already laughing at your answers. You just ignore it. You're focusing on the task. You're focusing on your goal. And your goal here is to write at least 20 things that you desire. 20 situations, 20 things, 20 of desires. What do you want? What do I want? And go with the flow. The more you write, you've written down already 20 and you halfway time. Great, write more. Write 30, write 40 answers. We're going to filter it in the next step. So don't worry about whatever your mind has created. We actually want to write more because we want to dig deeper into what your heart says. And the first answers are usually the ones that are dictated by our logical mind. So we want to dig deeper. We want to tire our brain, we want to tire our logical mind, and we want to get into the nitty-gritty of our soul. And it might sound silly, and we don't care about it for now. So step number 3 is heart's desire filter. But we're gonna filter it a little bit differently. We're not gonna be thinking about what is possible, what is realistic, what terrifies me. No. We're gonna be focusing on how it makes us feel. Because it's heart desire filter. It's not logic desire filter. It's about emotions. We're gonna go one step at a time. One desire at a time. While you do the first filtering, think of how it makes you feel. As you reach each position, pay close attention to what kind of feelings it creates within you. Is it a spark of joy? Is it exciting? Is it gives you the sense of purpose? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you smile? Even if it's silly and it makes you smile, maybe just keep it. We keep it for now. Everything that creates a positive emotion in you when you think of it, you keep it. But if the feeling is like indifferent, like you need to be very honest with how you feel. And that's why it was so important to create that sacred space of connection with your feelings, because you need to start understanding what you feel and how you feel about certain things. So whenever you're feeling like indifferent, hesitant, or even burdened, or you're like, I'm not sure, it just sounds good, but does it make me feel excited? Some of the goals might feel you a little bit terrified because they're huge. So we don't look like, if you're feeling, oh my gosh, this is so huge. No, that's not the good indicator, because this is just your critic saying that to you. But if you're gonna hear such voice that this is so big, it's a little bit terrifying, you want to write it down too. We're gonna go back to it later, because those kind of emotions are also gonna show you some of the limiting beliefs that are literally standing in the way of you leading your happy, fulfilled life. You can also, if you're going to have any difficulty with, like, okay, so you read something and it doesn't spark any emotions to begin with, although it's hard to believe, or maybe you're just a beginner on the route of understanding your own emotions, you can fit into the shoes and visualize your reality. So you're reading, like, I don't know, you wanted to be an astronaut. So you take a moment to imagine yourself that you're living that desire, that you are an astronaut. Like, and now you're stepping into that reality. So you see yourself wearing the NASA costume, like being called that in the next 10 minutes you're entering your spaceship and you're gonna be, or you see yourself already in the spaceship cruising around the Earth, looking at the planets from outer space. And you think, how does that make you feel? Does it give you the sense of contentment and fulfillment? This is the way we want to filter our answers. We are not focusing on the reality, how am I going to do it? How doesn't exist at this point. And to be honest, this process doesn't contain answering the question how, because the hows are always stopping us from moving forward. They always create mayhem of fear and makes us paralyzed, so we don't take action. So we forget about how. The question how doesn't exist at this point. We're just focusing on our feelings. What do you feel? If a desire brings a sense of lightness and joy and excitement, it's a strong indication that this will align with your heart true desires. And those are the things that you want to circle and keep. If it evokes the feelings of doubt, anxiety, sense of obligation, it might be worth considering if you want to keep it on your list. So we don't circle those ones. Trust your gut feelings. Let your emotions guide you as you filter through your desires, separating the true gems from the fleeting whims. And that filtering phase, we want to go back to it over and over again until we're gonna feel pretty confident about at least 4 or 5 things. We want to narrow it down. But if you have an issue with shortening your list because you have 10 different things, sometimes it is like so, because you might have written down like a smaller goals that then can be grouped into the bigger ones. It's okay, keep it. If it's 10 for you, it's 10 for you. I think the next step is gonna help you kind of narrow it down, so we can then one of my next videos, we're going to be working on writing down your mission, your life mission of your purpose. So we're really going to be working on narrowing it down. And this is also something that I'm working on with my group on the community, which is called Empowerment Circle. So in the description below, you're going to find a link. And if you feel passionate about going on the self-discovery journey and you want to prepare yourself to start off 2025 with like really life transformation, I highly recommend you to join this community. The community is private, but it's free, just to respect our own journeys. And you'll find there a lot of resources, support, videos, and also live calls and live coaching where we're gonna be going through the process together. Also in November, I'm starting a challenge which is called a 30 days challenge to uncover your heart desires. So we're going to be taking action, and we're going to be taking accountability for really stepping into our true selves to make sure that now is our time to step into our next level. And we're going to level up in 2025. And the step number 4 is uncovering the why and challenging your inner critic. So maybe you've heard those criticism in your voice as you were going through your desire list and you were trying to filter and narrow down. And even if you stayed with a longer list, for now it's okay. But now in this step, we want to answer question why we want it, and that this step isn't always easy, and it requires us to delve really deep into our motivation and to understand the core reasons behind our desires. And in this process also might help you to narrow down your list or to group, because some of the goals that you written down on a piece of paper actually can be grouped into the one goal, and those are just the components of leading towards it. So this exercise now is going to help you to really reveal your heart's desires. So why do these desires truly matter to you? What purpose do they serve in your life? How will fulfilling them shape your journey and contribute to your overall happiness and well-being? And as you'll be exploring your why, you might encounter a familiar foe, your inner critic. That voice that whispers doubts and objections and all sorts of limiting beliefs. But don't fear, don't worry. Instead of ignoring it, let's write it down. Let's acknowledge it. Let's put them into perspective. We're not going to be dwelling. We're not going to be discussing with it. We're going to be just capturing. Okay, you think that way. You think it's not possible. Okay. You think it's too big for me. I'll write it down. I hear you. So that kind of acknowledgement, it's going to be super useful on moving forwards, because it will help you in the same time discover what are those limiting beliefs, which sometimes are not that easy to uncover. And sometimes there is some people need additional process to uncover their limiting beliefs. But hey, if you got it now, great for you. It's gonna take you shorter to dig deeper. But the why quest, I call it the why quest. Why? Because we want to ask ourselves the question why at least 6 times. So how you do it? The process is, I want to be an astronaut. Why? Because I've always dreamt of outer space Why? Because I love to explore. Why? Because I'm curious. Why? Because it makes me feel good. Why? Because then I can, and then on and on and on. And you ask yourself why over and over again, and you capture those replies. That way, it will help you to uncover those deep-seated motivations and beliefs that are truly driving your desire. And sometimes it's useful to tire yourself again. If your inner critic, logical mind is really blocking you and you feel like, I don't know, because when we say I don't know, it's our logical brain, our logical mind is blocking us from getting the real answers. So we want to get rid of that I don't know. Very often it very helps when you're tired. Tired yourself physically. Go to the gym, go clean your flat, do it a beat, wash all the dishes, wash the floor, just make yourself physically tired and then go back to this exercise. And my dear friend, be patient with yourself. It is the journey going through all those 4 steps. You don't need to do it over a day. You don't need to do it over one sitting. You can separate those steps into days. You can also, if you are a person who doesn't feel very much connected with your heart at this time, maybe what you want to do first is focus on step number 1 for like 30 days and start your days with creating the sanctuary of peace and calmness and stillness, and start just embracing that reality that I can actually speak to myself. I need to calm my mind. There's too much going on in my life and I don't know. Then we start slower. There's everybody has their own different pace. This is not a race. It's your life. So we take it with kindness. We take it gently. We do it in a way that works for you. It is your time to shine, to embrace your true desires, to create a life that truly reflects the beautiful soul that you are. It's not a race. Take it easy. It's all about connecting with your authentic self. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some kindness. Subscribe for more guidance onto my channel. And if you wish to work with me but more one-on-one and you're looking for more guidance, join the community that I've linked in the description below. And my friend, just watching this video is a monumental step. I know you can do it. And if you're longing for that life full of purpose and uncovering what your heart desires, because you feel that you want to change, but there's something missing here. There's something that you don't see. Let me help you. I'm here for you. And yes, you can do it. We'll find a way together. So see you next time. Stay on my channel. There are meditations already that can help you relax. There's the one about creating, about creating a sanctuary, but there's also ones that help you unwind after a stressful day. And stay tuned for more content about creating your future, your long and happy life full of meaning and purpose. See you next time. I'm Magda, life coach.